This video is for a Galaxy S5, taking off the screen and how you could easily remove it. Probably about 15-20 minutes. It shouldn't take that long. I'm going to try to do it pretty quick, but explain it at the same time as I'm doing it. So as you can see, screen's on. This is another glass that I've taken off in good condition. You can see that the adhesive is still on there, which is what I'm going to try to achieve with taking this glass apart. Well, here I go. I'll take out the battery. So battery out. You have 3 screws. You're going to want to take these out. This you can easily take out with your fingertip, or you could use tweezers. The main thing I'm going to use is tweezers, a non-marring tool, Phillips screwdriver, and some business cards. So the first thing I do is I heat. I usually try to heat the back just a little bit, but I go around the top a lot and then the middle. There's adhesive that's actually right here, and the other adhesive around the corners. I'm going to start from this side, the thinner side, and I'm going to come around and then go all the way to the bottom. I've seen people take it from the bottom, but I like to take it from the top, go side to side, and then just kind of wiggle my way. Also make sure that you take off this ribbon. If you don't take off that ribbon, you're gonna rip it. That's actually this ribbon that's right here. So be careful when you're trying to take it apart not to rip that. I like to flip it so that this side is actually away from me. That way I can start with it. I grab my non-marring tool. By the way, sorry if the heat gun sounds a little loud. So I'm going to push down in order just to separate. So I'm already pulling the glue apart from the frame and the lens. So as you can see, it's starting to lift. I'm not doing it too much. I'm just kind of trying to separate it. I go around a little bit. Go to the bottom. It's not something you want to rush, especially when taking this off. They're very fragile. But I've done it enough times to kind of know how rough I can be with it. So now I'm going to focus on this side and get a business card underneath it. I do it hot to a touch because then I know when I'm burning the screen and when I'm not burning the screen. So now I'm going to get underneath again. Use this side. So you can see I'm slightly lifting. You maybe don't want to do this if you haven't done it for a few times, but I'm pulling apart the glass from the frame of it. Now right here I can see that I can slip a business card underneath it. So this one actually goes in pretty easy now. And I glide it along the bottom. And this is just separating the adhesive. It gets stuck about right here because, like I said, there's adhesive on the back. So what you can do is you can heat up that adhesive. On both sides. And now I can actually slide it in more. You're going to hear some popping, but that's normal. All that. So I'm pretty much through on this side. I don't like to go this deep because you still have your sensors for the digitizer buttons. So the business card isn't going that deep into it, about right here, and it's not going to affect the ribbon. So I'm going to stop. I'm actually going to twist it. Then I'm going to heat the top, do the same thing. So pretty hot. Do the same thing, separate it again. It's slowly coming now, I know that I'm underneath it. I want to make sure that I'm behind the actual LCD though, because if you don't make sure that you have enough leverage to get the card in, you're just going to go and scrape that whole LCD and it's going to be useless. But I know for a fact I'm underneath it, so I'm going to continue to glide it down. So the adhesive's still a little strong, it means I need to heat it more. Use this to pull it apart again. I could actually hear the adhesive pulling apart from the glass. So I'm going to pull this down. Now I need to do the same thing to the top. Okay, so now I'm in. You got to make sure you don't go too high because, like I said, there are ribbons here and you will affect them. This one kind of slightly got bent because it was went a little too deep into it. So my business cards, I try not to do it that high. I just do the range from about the bottom of the glass to just almost about the top, maybe a little less than an inch from the top. Now I'm gonna heat the top and then kind of work my way underneath that. Nice and hot. So now I'm going to work my way. As you can see, I'm actually pulling it apart. And because it's hot enough, the adhesive is just going to kind of come right with it. Doesn't give too much of a struggle. I'm going to see some adhesive still stuck. The easiest thing to do is actually grab a business card and cut at it. So now I'm open on this side and drag it all the way down. Some more adhesive right there. I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of cut. This way I don't put anything sharp in order to mess up that ribbon. Okay, so I'm pretty good. Now you're going to have another ribbon that's right here to connect the LCD. I usually have a pick, but I'm just going to go ahead and use my tweezers. I'm going to get in there and lift that ribbon. So if I go a little closer, you can see that there is a ribbon right here. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, it's right there. Now I'm going to slowly pull, so you'll see it's a little more open. I still need to drag it down, but I feel that there is some adhesive still behind it, so I'm going to heat that up. And it'll eventually come. Yeah, so there it comes. Drag a little more. So same thing. Now that ribbon that we were talking about, you just push it on through. You can see I would use my business card to kind of keep pushing it through. And I'm just going to heat all this area. And once I heat this, the adhesive that's right here that's holding onto these buttons will just come off very easily. So now I could just pull. Don't even really have to do anything. You can see some of the adhesive kind of coming still. But like I said, when you get a business card, you can just easily cut at that. You don't have to worry too much about it. Same thing on this side. There it is. You're going to see these right here are the ribbons that I'm talking about. So in order to get that off, what I do is I just heat it just a little bit more and then they slide right off. Be careful not to do it too much because you will burn the LCD, but as you can see, they're coming right off with the adhesive. Okay. Now I see that some of the glue that's down here is gonna come off onto the frame, which I don't want. I want it to come with the LCD, so I'm just gonna kind of separate it again, make sure that it does lift with the LCD, and slowly it's all coming. There you go. You have the screen off. So as you can see, the adhesive is still all on the screen, so it'll be very easy for me to just lay it on, can do the connections, and then heat it up again, and it'll adhere to the frame very easily. To show you guys that this is actually working, I'm going to go ahead and put the battery in. I'm not going to connect this ribbon, but I will connect the top ribbon. So I'm just going to press down. There it is. You can see. Wait for it all to boot up. And all of them still work. I didn't damage any of these, so.
Weirdo?
Yeah, that's it. That's